Well, good morning. It is pantry time. This video is actually in three parts. The first part is started in the winter actually, and you will see me in my winter clothes talking about incoming storms. But I just purchased some really great pantry organizers from Costco. So I'm going to go over my entire pantry and where it stood at that time and what I plan to do with the organizers I got. The second part is how the pantry looked after the organizers, and it looks good and I'm very happy with them. The third part, I'm just going to talk about my summer pantry and what's going on. Pantries are living, dynamic entities, and I'm going to talk about where mine is right now. When I was last in Costco, I found these pantry containers. They're clear, they're rectangular, have a handle, and there's 4 to a box. They were about $20. I feel that my pantry's in pretty good order, but it could be in better order. I have a situation with this shelving here. It's great shelving from Amazon, but the bottom part, the shelf part, is actually metal, like little metal slats or whatever. So sometimes things fall through there. Not really fall through, but they kind of tip over. I do have pantry straps, would keep them from falling off, but I need a more solid bottom. Some of the bottles have pieces of wood underneath it so that they don't tip over, but I wanted something a little better. Plus, I am now trying to consolidate my pantry. I know that that goes against the common wisdom. People are trying to expand their pantry, and I feel my pantry's fine, but I'm trying to make it more efficient. And sometimes making things more efficient means that you have to make them smaller, less, more consolidated. So between my pantry and what I'm doing there with consolidating and these containers, I think I can start doing a better job with my pantry, opening up some shelves, or even half a shelf would be good, so I can start storing some pots and pans in there too. So I thought we would open this together and see what it's like. So I'm going to take the top off. These are great. I just love them. They're a nice size here. You can use these in your refrigerator too. They're going to be deep enough for my pantry shelves. I like the handles. I like the clearness. And I like this sort of ridging here that keeps things from slipping. The inside is not ridged, just the bottom. So here on the bottom shelf I have some onions hanging, and I have my vitamins. I have some Bisquick, some large scale items such as pancake mix, rice and beans, noodles and ramen, stuff like that that is kind of used from time to time, but not on a daily regular basis. I already have some space here on the left hand side. I took out several containers. This whole bottom shelf was completely full until I did that. The next shelf up has mainly baking items and sweet items, some pie fillings and applesauce and jams. I also have a little section here where I have things like ravioli and chicken soup and items like that. They're kind of ready to go. I also have some random items such as some of this packaged miso and some bouillon. Also some marshmallow fluff. On the right-hand side, I've consolidated all of my sort of Asian and Indian type cooking sauces. I have some curries there and some stir-fry sauces, some peanut oil and things like that. That has been very convenient to organize foods by genre, because if I'm making a meal, everything is right there. Up here it gets messy. I have some soups and beans here on the far left, and extra stuff. I kind of designated this area as Italian food and Mexican food. I have some refried beans and some rice, flavored rice, some breadcrumbs, some corn, some pasta sauce. It's a little bit of a mishmash. But again, if I have just certain things together in one place, it does kind of help me put a meal together. On the right-hand side up here, I have mustards, mayonnaise, oils, salad dressings, and items like that. Up on top, I have a lot of the bulk items that I use on a regular basis, such as beans, nuts, popcorn, flour, sugar, sunflower seeds, stuff like that. They're in glass jars. So there's a big storm coming in tomorrow and next day. So I think I'm going to devote my energies to being here in the pantry, getting everything organized and a little more accessible. And I will be back and show you the results. Down here is my bulk. I like these boxes from Walmart. They are heavy duty, but you can still see through them. I found out that I had a lot more rice than I thought I'd had and hadn't eaten, so I put some of the rice away into these metal canisters. On the far right are all my beans. Then I have some Bisquick and some other items I don't want out. Top ramen and some more rice in there. What's left of my cake mixes and some muffin mixes and cookie mixes in there. I managed to get them, I think, into one already. I was surprised at how many pie mixes I had. I have a lot of pie mixes. I did make those pie crusts, so I think I'll be making pies in the near future to kind of go through those. So I'd say this is getting less crowded than it was before, and it's going to be a little bit more on point. Just having things up here I'm going to be using regularly and within the near future, and everything else will be packed away. I had these beans in a huge jar, and I took about half of them out and put them in a plastic bag in the container I have for beans. And I'm thinking this is already too many beans out on the shelf too, so I'll probably be having this. The canned food rack has gone through some changes here. I finished a lot of stuff that was in it. I had some red beans and some mandarin oranges. I opened those and used them in salads. I had a can of pinto beans that I seasoned and cooked up and ate. Some of the canned food I had too much of things I would not eat, so I gave those away. These little plastic boxes have been a godsend. Oh my gosh, I love them. Right here I put everything that goes with my tacos, and right behind it there's some refried beans and some Spanish rice and some minute rice, some enchilada sauce, some taco sauce. I even have a can of corn in there because every time I make burritos or I make tacos, I always forget about putting corn in there. So I figure if I put it in there, I'd remember to use it. And back here, all the oils and some salad items, different vinegars, this, that, and the other. Over to the right, I have the spaghetti, pasta, pizza area. I have some tomato sauce, some tomato paste, one jar of spaghetti sauce, marinara sauce. Right below, more boxes. These are kind of extras. I have an extra bouillon, I have extra spray oil, I have extra vinaigrette. Whatever I have in use that I have an extra, it's just here so I can see it clearly and not run out and buy it when I already have one. Here's the Asian food section, as we'll call it. I have some Thai curry, I have some sesame oil, peanut oil here. I like to do my curries and my stir fries in peanut oil. Some sauces that haven't been opened yet. There were a couple of areas that surprised me, mainly because I hadn't seen them. And one of them was the jam, peanut butter, and sweet things area. I have 2 boxes filled with it. I had quite a bit of jam, more than I thought I had. Some had been gifted to me. Others had I purchased to make cookies that I never made. Have some syrup. Have some frosting right there that I'm going to be using soon. And I have a couple of things like this, like chocolate toppings and French toppings. And I don't eat ice cream, so I don't use it. So I'll have to figure out maybe another use for this. Putting things in the clear boxes has certainly brought things to light. I see what I have a lot of and what I don't have a lot of. I'm also assessing the drink pantry. I have some smaller waters, single-use waters, a lot of teas. There's my favorite black tea from Amazon. I'm about ready to open that up. I have some regular milk, some non-dairy milk, and some juice back there. The one thing I'm going to change about this pantry down here is I'm going to make a transition from having jugs of things to having powdered items. Like the milk or the non-dairy milk, it can become a problem because I live here by myself.
I don't go through things as quickly. Like I'll make a couple of smoothies and I'll still have leftover milk or non-dairy milk, and I never finish it sometimes. Then I have to toss it. Same with the juices. I love my juices. Sometimes they absolutely hit the spot, especially when I've been sick. There's been times the only thing I could get down was juice, but they take up a lot of space. So that's also an issue here. The one thing that's never been a problem up here is water. Clean water can be a problem at points. I am putting in all sorts of filters that now to mitigate that, though I will still keep my jugs of water supply going, because in case there's a problem further up the line, I will have some backup until it can be fixed. Up here I keep my water. I have gallon jugs. 2 of these have never been opened, and I have 4 more that need to be refilled at the grocery store. I might buy a few more jugs of water while I'm at it, as well as refilling.
So some of the things I figured out when I was redoing my pantry is that I have too many ingredients and not enough food ready to eat. So I've done some adjustments in my freezer, got some more frozen stuff like frozen pizzas. I had a lot of beans and rice, but they need to be cooked, so that got changed also. I got a lot more of these and a lot more of these for quick meals. I got real ill this spring with pneumonia, and I was not going to be cooking or working with a crock pot or anything else. It's really nice to have this sort of stuff. Plus, somebody comes over or I decide to have a spontaneous meal, it's ready to go. Another thing I decided is I try to be ready for every eventuality, including people coming over unexpectedly, which happens up here quite a bit with the fire. So I decided I cannot prepare for every eventuality. I can't do it. It's not practical from a financial aspect or from a storage aspect. So I decided if I need to suddenly feed a bunch of people at one time or more people, there are 3 things that I can make and will always be stocked in my pantry. Number 1 is either beans and rice or tacos or burritos, some sort of situation like that. Very expandable. I have whatever I need to make that happen. It's either in the freezer or shelf stable. Number 2 is pizza. I have pizzas in the freezer. I also have pizza fixings, crust, and all that stuff on my shelves. So we can make as many pizzas as we need to make. And number 3 is pasta with sauce. I have plenty of pasta. I have plenty of sauce. I have cheese in the freezer. I have some sausage and stuff in the freezer. So again, in a sudden need to cook, I've got everything I need. I just can't, I guess, prepare for every single thing that might happen in every single food available. So those are the 3 things I'm keeping on hand in larger quantities than most for just in case. So what I'm buying right now for the pantry is kind of a little more based on what I perceive to be my eating habits. I do a lot of snacking. I don't do a lot of meals, especially in the summer because it's very, very hot. So I've gone back to getting large scale nuts that I can snack on. I got these peanut butter filled pretzels I can snack on. I have some crackers back there that I can make little cheese sandwiches with. Sometimes all I want is some crackers and cheese. It's the time of year for pasta salads and stuff like that, so I've gotten more relish, I've gotten more olives for salads, for hot dogs, whatever I'm going to be serving, in order to make sure I have enough taco fixings for myself, whoever's coming on. I made sure I have several shelf-stable cans of salsa and other things like that. I think the best place for me to get this is probably Trader Joe's. The sizes are doable for me and the price is good. I don't live near a Trader Joe's, but it's definitely on the list for the next time I go. I'm also eating a lot more cold cereal. In the summer, I tend to eat this for breakfast as opposed to potatoes, so I'm stocking up on some of this too. One of the best deals I purchased this season for the pantry is this 8 cans of diced tomatoes for, I think it was $3 at Grocery Outlet. I do have tomato items back there, but I find these diced tomatoes to be absolutely the most versatile. I can use them in the foods I want to expand on. I can make Spanish rice with them. I can make a pizza topping. I can throw them in make a salsa. I can put them in a pasta sauce. I can make other things out of it. So although I don't have a lot of sauces or tomato-based sauces to a great extent, I do have quite a few of these because they can be created into other things. So that's part of my space-saving strategy right now as well. And finally, I'm realizing that size matters. I'm here eating by myself most of the time. I don't need huge containers of things. I need small containers of things. So even though maybe economically it's cheaper to get large amounts, it is not economically cheaper to get large amounts if I can't finish those items. I mentioned getting some powdered milk and powdered juices. So if I just want a glass of juice, or if I just want to have some milk or non-dairy milk in a smoothie or in my cereal, I don't need to open an entire container that I may not finish. And also I find I don't eat nearly as much as I think I do. So I really have to pull back a little bit on what I'm buying and how much I'm buying, and how much I feel I need to have here for myself or others, because really when it comes down to it, I just do not have the appetite I had when I was younger. So I don't need such a huge amount backed up there. It is handy to have because there has been multiple times when I have been in this house and unable to leave for whatever reason for up to 2 weeks. So I do like having sufficient backup, but I think sometimes I overestimate how much I'm actually going to eat and buy in bulk accordingly, and that needs to stop. So that's my pantry video. That's my pantry confessions. How are you doing with your pantry? How is it changing? How is it evolving? What do you think? Happy eating and have a happy summer. Thank you so much for watching.